Do you need a sorceress build that allows you to speed farm and speed clear dungeons extremely quick, as well as have an insane AoE output and maintain incredible single target damage, and even level your battle pass quickly, as well as be taking the right vampiric powers that are easy to level up and incredibly easy to have active? Then I got the sorceress build for you. What's up, world? Stripper back in the video, checking out all things Diablo 4. Okay, but before we actually jump into the build itself, if you appreciate games with unique dynamic build diversity, as well as some incredibly dynamic gameplay that hasn't really been seen before, then check out today's video sponsor. Dungeon Hunter is about to get a brand new release since its predecessor in 2015. Dungeon Hunter 6 is an insanely new, highly anticipated hero collector that includes wide variants on build diversity, with both hack and slash and casting style combat that includes a broad range of dynamic spells and skills. And did I mention that it's completely free? And if you want to get in on the action, you can scan the QR code on screen or use the link in the description. DH6 also brings a brand new unique mechanic to bosses, where you can literally ride and fly on your defeated boss. You can also summon 3 of them on the battlefield to make them members of your squad, which includes some perfect combination skills, as well as just being able to have them follow you around. And I'm not done, you can even shapeshift into them to harness the ultimate power. It's a very unique mechanic that I have not seen the likes of. And you aren't limited either. There's over 100 uniquely designed bosses to conquer and explore, as well as new classes and units updated monthly. There's also additional unique mechanics like a stealth mission where you can turn into a cat. They've also completely overhauled and optimized the 3D graphics, so now you'll get better performance with better visual quality and a smoother combat experience on your mobile devices. This also includes the ability to guild up with people and battle in real-time guild wars, and grind with a variety of skill tree options to test your builds, or even trade items via the auction house system. Again, the game is completely free. You can scan the QR code on screen or use the description down below, and if you use my link, you can earn a special pack worth $50. That includes 10 summoning scrolls, 1 SSR Lieutenant Demonic Wolf, and 1 accessory pack. Additionally, you can use your game account to enter the launch Lucky Spin event for free to win great prizes like the iPhone 15 Pro Max, a PS5, Apple Watch, and more starting October 15th. Check out the description for details. Thank you again to Dungeon Hunter 6 for sponsoring this video. Now I've reset my skill tree all the way down the baseline. We're going to go through this as if we are leveling so that way you can kind of go through it. Now we will kind of be going backpedaling on certain stuff, but you'll see how it works. Firebolt, of course, we're going to take because we do want that kind of damage with fire, lighting things on fire. We're going to go into Enhanced Firebolt, and then we'll go into Glinting Fire. We'll drop down here, and we are going to go into Devastation because we do want the Elemental Dominance, but we also need to push this into the next layer here. So we'll go 2 into that one to kind of push us down into the next section here. That way we can jump into things like Flame Shield. First up, we'll probably grab Ice Armor. We'll grab Teleport so that we can jump around a little bit. Then we want to go into Frost Nova. That way we can get ourselves Enhanced Frost Nova and then Mystical Frost Nova, which will allow us to do some vulnerability stuff there. We'll then come into Flame Shield, as that's going to offer us damage protection and allow us to do a lot of the events if we need. Right away, as soon as we unlock this one, we're going to grab Unline the Elements. It's just super strong. It has been for a while, so we need to grab that one. We'll go into 3 of 3 into Glass Cannon, as that will push us down into the next section here, which we want Firewall. As fast as we can get it. Once you hit level 15, this is where you want to do that respecking portion, where we're then going to go into Firewall, we'll go into Enhanced Firewall, and then we'll either go into Wizard's Firewall, which I really like for the mana regeneration. However, you could go into Mage's Firewall if you're finding that mana isn't a problem. Also come down into here. Once we have Firewall unlocked, this is the important part to make this build kind of seamlessly work together. We do want to put 1 into Fireball. So we'll go into Skill Assignment here, and we will put Fireball into our first enchantment, and that will allow us to get that explosion. You'll see a bunch of mobs. Once they get on fire, then they'll explode once they put it taken out. So then you'll see it's kind of rapid domino effect. It's really, really potent. It really makes this build flow together quite well. Next up, we'll jump into Firewall. We're just going to pump out Firewall. We'll do all the way up into 5. That way we have a lot of damage with it. We'll then go into Inner Flames because we want Devouring Blaze. We'll pump out Devouring Blaze, 3 of 3 there. We'll also go into Crippling Flames, and that is our lucky hit chance there. This will immobilize enemies, which will allow us to do some cool stuff with our Vampiric that you'll see later. So we're going to go 3 of 3 into our Crippling Flames there. Then we'll jump down. We'll go into Fury Surge for that mana regeneration, which is really good. And I would also go again into Fury Surge just for mana regeneration. At this point, we've unlocked our ult, so then we'll jump into Combustion. You can respec this on boss fights and go into Ferocity. However, I do think that Combustion is better for AoE. At this point, I'm going to go another one into Fury Surge for mana regeneration. As you'll notice, your mana regeneration is quite kind of significant there. Go into Endless because we want Warmth. Warmth is so good for our damage mitigation at this point. Now, you will be close to level 30 and 40-ish at this point here, but we will probably grab 3 at 3 Warmth. You'll see, I was looking over at my second monitor, and I basically had my health drop down to 0 and go all the way back up to nearly 100% without using a potion, just based on Warmth. It's such a good ability, very, very strong early on. However, at this point, now we're level 40, or around level 40, late level 40s. We do want to get some lucky hit stuff, and although we could get some damage stuff right now or pump more into damage, we should probably go lucky hit. So what we'll do is we'll go into Elemental Attunement. It's going to reset our defensive abilities. We'll go 3 of 3 into that one. Next up, we'll go 3 of 3 into lucky hit. That's going to be a 15% lucky hit chance, and again, that's going to align great with Elemental Attunement. That's going to pump out some stuff there. We'll probably put a point into Elemental Dominance to finish that one out there. We'll jump down here and get the rest of Inner Flames. That's going to be another good one. Again, you're not always healthy, so we didn't want to take that one right away, so we'll put 3 and 3 into that one. Next up, we're around level 40. We're going to be taking a lot of damage, so we do want some damage reduction, and you can take this a little bit earlier if you're noticing that you're taking too much damage. We're going to go Mana Shield. We'll put 3 of 3 into Mana Shield. Another really, really good one. Damage reduction has always worked well in this game, even if they just fix resistances, so that's another really good one. And I did forget to mention, when you do go into Ice Armor, you do want to grab Enhanced Ice Armor as quickly as possible, as that's going to give you some more mana regeneration, so make sure you're grabbing that as well. Also grab a Teleport. You could grab Enhanced Teleport quite earlier if you wanted to, however I usually wait, but this does give you a lot more range with that, as you won't always be hitting enemies, but we do kind of want to grab that there. Jumping in, we'll probably grab and put 2 or 3 more into Frost Nova, as you want that cooldown to be as quickly as possible. We'll come back up and we'll maybe grab Potent Warning to experiment with, as we really don't have a ton of points to put a lot of stuff into as of just yet. And so we'll grab the Potent Warning, as that's going to allow us to grab some more resistances, some more damage reduction. Kind of cool to experiment with the damage resistances at this current patch and seeing how that kind of plays out. And then we'll finish up here by going back into Endless, and we'll finish up by putting that 3 of 3. Now again, you could possibly take out the Potent Warding if you didn't want to, and we could slap that back into Frost Nova to get more of a cooldown there if you didn't want the resistances, since we already have a ton. So we'll go 4 or 5 into that one. That'll give us a nice Frost Nova cooldown, which will essentially allow us to be casting that quite frequently and getting those vulnerabilities out. Now going quickly into the Vampiric powers, these are my favorites so far. However, this one's probably not more utilized, as this one is just a health one, but these are really, really good in my opinion. The Prey on the Weak vulnerability damage is a really, really good one that you're going to want a little bit later on. You're going to want Domination. Domination is so good for our immobilized, and as well as combining with our other perks and freezing and immobilizing. Like I said, it was going to combine with our other passives. That's a really, really good one. You're always going to want this one active. Another one you're probably going to want active is this one, Homonymy, as this one just does some really cool AoE damage. It has like some really cool AoE mechanic. It procs every 4 seconds. It's a passive, so you're not really doing much with it, and it's just always kind of doing damage. We also have Flowing Veins, another really, really good one. 30% damage increase, damage over time. You're probably going to always want these 3 active at all times, as well as the Domination one. So probably these 3 realistically Prey on the Weak as well. And then this one is kind of one that you could mix out for other things like damage mitigation. You could have some poison control. It's not super utilized. That's why I haven't spent a ton of points yet, as I don't want to kind of build this too much, because we're probably going to change in the end game build. If you want like the actual metagame end game build, we're probably going to go into Blizzard, so we didn't do that there, but this should be a good Vampiric powers. You're always going to want to have at least 3 of them active if you can. You also have to do play into that stuff with the actual points here in the point system. However, you're free to change these up and kind of more so dance with that. We'll jump into Paragon really, really quickly. This is just my Paragon board, very, very quick. We'll come up here through here, grab this one. We have Glyph Socket, 1% damage. It's not much. Like I said, the Paragon board doesn't matter too much right now, aside from us getting these kind of +5 int and some dexterity there, as well as kind of getting this 5% increased non-physical damage we also want there, and then the 10% non-physical damage there as well, plus 10 int is really, really good. So come up through here, follow this little track, and that should be good when you hit level 50. Overall, that should cover the entire build, aside from maybe gear. It doesn't really matter too much. You're going to be trading out gear like crazy, so that doesn't really matter a ton. This should be great for leveling. You're going to see some fantastic damage outputs, and as well as kind of being able to metagame. This also did level my battle pass quite significantly fast. In fact, I've gotten up to, by doing this specific dungeon, which I'll showcase really quickly, which is the dungeon that I was farming in a lot of the videos, which is this dungeon right here, Domehane Tunnels. It's just really good. It is going to be great for damage and as well as the AoE farm. And as I said, it's leveled my battle pass up quite significantly. You see here, I think I gotten like almost 30 levels, and I haven't bought anything or paid for anything yet. 23 levels just by farming the one dungeon. So it's a pretty good farm, and I do recommend it. That should about cover for today's video. If you like, subscribe, and until the next one, deuces.